Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, yes, I am still camping. Yes, I don't want to say it's a gorgeous day. It's about to rain in a couple of hours, so I do have to get through this news video pretty quick. But the weather right now is a little bit warmer than yesterday. Still cold, still double flanneled here, and still trying to keep warm. Got a hat on, don't have my gloves. And there were some people yesterday who asked me if I was worried about hunters being in the relative area because of possibly getting shot by them by accident. The answer here is no. First and foremost, they're in a completely different area. You can just hear the gunshots from a ways away. Secondly, I have my safety rock. And this thing is very safe. It's a very effective weapon. And this one actually has a spike on it, so even more effective than normal. And I don't care what anyone says. Rock beats gun, rock beats sword, rock beats bear, rock beats everything. Just trust me on that one. Anyways, here, come along with me for the morning walk. I've got a lot of news to talk about, and well, Nintendo is probably not going to be happy today. So first up here, we're talking about Game Freak, and it turns out that Game Freak has been hacked. And this is a big one. A lot of Pokemon stuff has reportedly been hacked. Pokemon source code has reportedly been stolen and leaked. Now, interestingly here, it appears that some of the stuff that was already leaked has already been put into the public domain, which means it's accessible by everyone. It's not private anymore. And taking a look here, it appears that the source code for Heart Gold and Soul Silver are in the public domain. So everything I'm sharing with you here is in the public domain. In fact, this information here is right on GBA Temp. Now, for reference, my news is 100% open source. I share all of my sources in the bottom of the description below, so feel free to check any of this out. So some of the data from this GigaLeak hints towards a Generation 10 Pokemon game. And it's claimed that Pokemon Gaia will launch for both the Switch and its successor. On top of that, users on Reset Era claim that a playable build of Pokemon Legends Z-A is included in the leak. That's pretty huge. Ikaku, Gaia K, and Gaia N are all code names with Nintendo Switch product codes. Synapse appears to be an online multiplayer game, and this is the collab project with ILCA, who also worked on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. One claim states that it's similar to an MMO, while another says it's closer to Splatoon. On top of that, there is even more, and I mean a whole lot more, like the entire origin story of Pokemon and even more than that. This hack is absolutely huge. I could be going on for like an hour or two based on everything that's leaked. Anyways, here, the hack is a result of a phishing attempt on a Nintendo Dev Portal user. That's what's being reported. This person here makes a very interesting comment. 99.9% of budget for lawyers and 0.1% of budget for security. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about the entire GigaLeak in the comments below. Do you think that there is going to be more here that's discovered? What do you think this means for Nintendo and Pokemon and Game Freak moving forward? And speaking about Nintendo, next up here, we're still talking about Nintendo, kind of directly, with the Nintendo Switch and the Unlock Switch. For those who may not be aware, the Unlock Switch is a Nintendo Switch flash card. A lot of people have questioned the entire project's legitimacy, and some people think it's a scam. Anyways, here, Unlock Switch has just made a decision to make the entire project even more questionable than it already is. And that involves cryptocurrency. So they say right here, it's quite straightforward. If you choose not to purchase our products or prefer not to pay with cryptocurrency, you are not obligated to place an order. We kindly ask that negative comments be avoided. Let's maintain a positive and respectful atmosphere on our page. Now, one of the benefits and also drawbacks about crypto is that it's kind of untraceable. And if people are purchasing a product and it doesn't deliver, well, Unlock Switch can just flat out walk away like nothing happened, which screams scam. I mean, I could be wrong here, but this is not a good look at all for them. Now, fortunately, it appears that they are listening and, well, they may be making some changes, emphasis on may. So they say here, we've always prioritized transparency from the start. We understand that many people are unhappy with the option to pay in crypto for the launch. Starting Monday, we'll begin exploring alternative solutions, such as credit card payments, to better accommodate and secure our future customers. So that means they're going to explore it, not automatically offer it. And this is something I am very cautious about. Now, Unlock Switch is no stranger to controversy. I mean, they've had their battles against MigSwitch. I think MigSwitch started those. But anyways, here, this whole project arguably hasn't really delivered yet, and well, it just seems it's one thing after another that makes me question the legitimacy of the entire thing. Let me know your thoughts about Unlock Switch in the comments below. Do you think it's the real deal? Do you think they're going to deliver? And do you think that this is finally going to be put to rest once the proof is in the pudding? But moving on, and I brought us all inland a little bit because I didn't like having to shout into the microphone to combat the wind and the waves and basically the entire weather in the area. This is a lot easier for me to record and hopefully easier for you to listen to. And let me know your thoughts about the wilderness sounds versus the beach sounds in the comments below. But anyways, next up we're still talking about Nintendo, and this time about the Nintendo 64 and Banjo-Kazooie. And it turns out an early build of Banjo-Kazooie has been dumped. Now this dump I find extremely interesting because it's a dump of Banjo-Kazooie Debug Development Kit, and it was created on December 16th, 1997, which is 6 months before the release of the game and 1 month after Space World 97. So who knows what we're going to find here. We don't know the full details of the differences between this and the official game, but I'm very interested to find out. And continuing to talk about Nintendo related stuff, next up here we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulator Mikage. And this is the latest tweet from Mikage. Happy to confirm Mikage runs great on the new Asahi Linux Vulkan driver. Unsurprisingly, the M2 we tested was more than fast enough for 3DS emulation. Hats off to such a polished driver right on release day. And they provided a screenshot of Mikage in action. Now, unfortunately, I don't know when Mikage is releasing. A lot of people have questioned the legitimacy of this whole entire project, and I've spoken to developers independent of Mikage, and they have assured me it's real. They've seen early builds of this thing, so I'm assuming that Mikage is real and the developer is still working on it, and we'll know more as soon as the developer is ready to share it. And speaking about sharing, next up I'm sharing some good news with you. We're talking about Good Boy Galaxy. Now, we've talked about this game in the past, but we're talking about it again today. For those who may be unaware of it, it's an indie game, and they say it's a vibrant sci-fi platform adventure game where you help Maxwell the dog explore unfamiliar worlds, make strange new friends, and contend with mysterious forces by jumping, shooting, slicing, shrinking, warping, and drilling. This game is up on itch.io. It's about $20, and it was made for the Game Boy Advance, but it's also headed to consoles and Steam. Now, from my understanding, this game is releasing relatively soon here, and the Steam version does contain the GBA ROM, so you can go play it on a GBA emulator, for example, on your phone or something. This is awesome, and one thing I am very excited about. I love when developers make things more accessible to more people. I mean, instead of nickel and diming everyone, for example, buy it on Steam and then buy it again if you wanted the ROM to play on Game Boy Advance, they're just flat out giving you the ROM, which is awesome. I'm a big fan of that. So you can play this game on your phone if you want. You can play this game anywhere you want if you've got a GBA emulator kicking around. And there's GBA emulators for basically every single platform out there. So this is an awesome move. It's going to release relatively soon, and well, this is one on my wish list on Steam. I'm a big supporter of indie games and indie developers, and this one is right up my alley. On top of that here, there seems to be a bit of an issue with the physical version. So this game is releasing physically, but it seems the publisher here is creating a bit of a problem. So the developer for this one says, side note, unfortunately I still have no news on the physical GBA cartridges, which has been First Press Games' responsibility. At this moment we are waiting on a response from our lawyer on the matter. So things are pretty serious, and if you're looking for a physical version of this game, it seems it may not come to fruition. But fortunately, the digital version is already up on itch.io for $20 here, or you can wishlist it on Steam. And speaking about Steam, next up here we're talking about Steam and the Steam Deck. And if you're interested in the Steam Deck 2, the release date, the prices of it, the unveiling of it, well, you may be waiting for a while. At least that's what this recent interview suggests. So it seems that Valve is taking an approach here that I 100% agree with and stand behind. So here's a direct quote from the Steam Deck designer Lawrence Yang. So we really do want to wait for a generational leap in compute without sacrificing battery life before we ship the real second generation of the Steam Deck. But it is something we're excited about and we're working on. So yes, they are working on a Steam Deck 2, but they're not shipping it unless there's actually a generational leap in performance. And Lawrence Yang goes on to say here, actually, Lawrence Yang is going to have to wait for a minute because I just spotted a small little fluff, and well, I owe you one. So hopefully you enjoyed that one, and back to Lawrence here. Lawrence says, what we said when we launched the OLED was that this is not a second generation device. This is what we would say is what we wish we had shipped originally for the Steam Deck LCD. And I think that has been borne out. So that's pretty amazing here. So the OLED is the true Steam Deck, I guess. Anyways, here, we're gonna wait a while for the Steam Deck 2, and I'm liking this. It's the opposite of the Anbernic approach, where we're getting a new handheld every frickin' week. But I don't know, maybe I'm off base with that line of thinking. Personally, I just think it gives buyers the confidence that they can pick up a Steam Deck without worrying it's gonna be outdated in a very short period of time. Let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments below. Next up here, we're quickly talking about Foamstars, and it appears that Foamstars is going the way of Concord. It's being reported that Foamstars is failing miserably. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with Foamstars, to me it's kind of Square Enix's version of Splatoon. Anyways, here when it launched, it was $30 on PS Plus, if I'm not mistaken, and then made free to play. And it's being reported here that since being made free to play, and I guess since launch, it's lost 95% of its players base. That is huge. That's not good at all here. And well, people are saying it's at risk of being taken offline completely because it's failing and not making money. In fact, costing money, which I may agree with. And this is why people are comparing it to Concord. Which also begs the question here, if Concord goes free to play, will it suffer the same fate as Foamstars, where free to play is not going to make the game successful? But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Have you played Foamstars before? What are your thoughts on the game, and what are your thoughts on the current state of the game? Do you think it is truly a free to play game, and why do you think people are not playing it? And last up here, we're talking about the upcoming game Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and it's being reported that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be using Denuvo, and it won't be available on GOG Day 1. Now, based on some of these comments, it appears people are not too happy about this. This person says, sweet, looks like I'll be playing a fully patched version of the game a year after release, and at a discount too. And this person says, guess I'll wait for Denuvo to be removed before buying then. And this person has a backer of the first one that rebought it on GOG to encourage freedom from DRM. Disappointing, but I can wait for a 75% plus discount on GOG a few years later. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. If a game has Denuvo, would that dissuade you from buying it until Denuvo is removed? But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. Well, there was a fluff, not the legendary one fluff, but there was a fluff here. Let me know your thoughts about anything we talked about in the comments below, because we did talk about quite a bit. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.